Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, guys, am I audible? Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Right, sir. And check it. What we completed in the last session. Okay. So I think so. We are discussing about properties files. The topic here we are understanding. So in the last class, just we understood what exactly the purpose of the properties files in applications. The main purpose of the properties files in Java applications is to provide all the JDBC parameters like driver class name, driver URL, database username, database password, which we want to change frequently. Okay, to provide all validation messages which are required in data validations, to manage all the local respective messages which are required in internationalization, and to manage all the exception messages which are required in exception handling, and so on and so on and so on. So many requirements to manage all this data, to manage all this content. Here we required what their properties files now. That's okay, fine. Next one is steps to use properties in Java applications. Steps to use properties in what there? Java application. Right, sir. Properties files. Steps to use properties file in Java applications. What exactly the step here we have to follow that? Then first one is like what there? What I am telling to you. Number one. Step number one is what there? Send data to a properties file. Right, sir. First one is like what there? Send data to a particular properties file. First of all, I want to send data to a properties file. Then after this, second one is what there? Get data from the properties file. Two parts. Here in this overall, two parts are available. First of all, what is that? No, send a data to a particular properties file. Second one is what there? Get a data from the properties file. And before understanding these steps, no, one more point here we have to understand. What is that point here? Observe carefully. To represent data of a particular properties files, to represent data of a particular properties file, Java has provided a predefined class. Java has provided a predefined class in the form of java.util.properties. There's a predefined class. What is this predefined class? No, properties is a predefined class. In the properties files, we are going to provide data in the form of key value pairs. The same key value pairs data we are going to get in the form of what object? No, properties object. In the properties object, we are able to get the data of a particular properties file. In the properties file, we are able to provide data in the form of key value pairs. So finally, in the properties object, the data is going to be represented in the form of key value pairs. Right, so that point also here we have to understand. But anyway, here we are having clear cut steps. No, the steps here we have to follow. First of all, send a data to a properties file. Okay. All right, sir. Now point number one, what we have to do there. All right, sir. Now first of all, here what we have to do now, create java.util.properties class object. What we have to do there, create java.util.properties class object. Okay, now observe carefully. Create java.util.properties class object. How we are able to create object here? Properties prop is equal to new properties. Just object here we created. Okay. Next one. Number 2. Provide data in the form of key value pairs in the properties object. We have to provide data in the properties object in the form of key value pairs. That's it. What exactly the key value pairs here we are going to provide there? Prop dot set a property method. What is this method? No, prop dot set a property. There we have to provide key. What is that key? No, for example, I want to provide driver class name is a key. Then I want to provide the value. What is that value here I want to get there? Say for example, oracle.jdbc.driver, for example. Next one is a prop dot. Again, set a property. There we have to provide driver URL, comma, driver URL here we have to provide jdbc colon oracle colon thin colon at the rate localhost colon 1521 colon xe, for example. As an example, I'm telling there now. Okay. Prop dot set a property of username, db username, for example, just username. Now it would be like what there system, or else maybe I want to write like what there. See, these names also we are going to simplify that. Now this will be I want to provide like what their URL. Now get this is what their username. Next one is prop dot set a property password, comma. It says for something else here I want to provide what their Durga. That's it. Now the second step is also be completed here. What is this second step now? Provide data in the form of key value pairs in the properties object. Alright, sir. Properties object here we created. That's okay. Where data we provided here in the form of key value pairs now. All of you are getting it or not? Next one. After that, observe carefully. Point number 3 is what there. Create file output stream. Create file output stream with the properties file. Create file output stream with the properties file. Observe carefully. File output stream FOS is equal to new file output stream of, say for example, I want to provide something else, e colon slash abc slash xyz slash db dot properties. Okay, db dot properties. Either we can take the content there or maybe we can take that content like what there in any location, whatever it may be. Here we created like what there file output stream. Here we created. You know already the functionality of this file output stream. This location is mandatory. E colon slash abc slash xyz location is mandatory. But the remaining file name, properties file name may be available, may not be available, that doesn't matter. In the case if it is available, it will use it. If it is not available, JVM will create a new file with the name db.properties. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? Okay. If the file is available already, it will create file output stream. If file is not available, JVM will create a new file with the name db.properties. That's okay. Then after that, after completion of this, what next one here we have to do now? After providing these properties, file is ready, file output stream is ready, properties object is ready, where inside the properties object data is also be ready. Remaining part is I have to send the data of the properties object to the file output stream or not. I have to send the data from properties object to the file output stream or not. Then automatically the data will be transferred to properties file. Got or not? All right, sir. Now here, what I have to do there? Store data, store properties object data Store properties object data to the properties file That means here what we have to do there, store properties object data to the properties file. For that purpose, we have a method. What about this method is available? Prop.store of, there we have to provide file output stream. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? There what method is available? Store method. There we are able to get what there? File output stream. There we have to provide some description. The description is a header part of the properties file where some comment about the data description. The description should be like what there, right? JDBC parameters that I am going to provide. JDBC parameters, the data here we are able to provide. When we call this prop.store of FOS comma JDBC parameters like this now, right? If we perform these steps now, then what it is going to be happen there? I'm telling there, if we perform all these steps now, right, sir. Note kind of point here I'm telling there. If we perform all these steps now, if we execute, the above steps, then properties file will be created like below. Properties file will be created like below. Clear? All of you understand this? How this properties file is created here? Right. First of all, e:/avc/xyz/ the file name is like what the db.properties. This is a file name. Inside this file name, first a comment is available. What is the comment to be provided? JDBC param. Inside the properties, well, hash is acting as a comment. In case of Java, double slashes, slash star, these are comments. But in the case of properties, where comment is what there? Hash. Now you get able to provide what there? JDBC parameters. After that, now get able to provide the data is what there? Driver class name is equal to oracle.jdbc.oracle driver. Next one is what there? URL is equal to jdbc colon oracle colon thin colon at the rate localhost colon 1521 colon slashes colon xe. Right, sir? Next one is what there? After this, username is equal to system. Password is equal to like what there? What we are able to get now? Durga. This data is available like this. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? Now this is the properties file is going to be created in the form of this data. That's it. All of you are getting it or not? Shall we see program up to now? Whatever the content here I complete up to now. Can I provide the program here? Right. Now all of you observe carefully. Right, sir. Have I provided any location and have I used this ID up to now? In advance we have not used it, right? Okay, no problem. Then I'll go with content here. Previously might be some program we have used it. All right, so now collections basics I given there. Right. So okay, for the sake of our program safety purpose, I'm writing what there exception. Next one is what there. First of all, I need to create properties object. If you want to use properties object, what package here we have to import now? Java.util. Then properties object, let me create. Properties, prop is equal to new properties. Properties class object here I created. Then I want to set data. Prop dot set property. There we have to provide driver class name, comma. Driver class name I want to provide in the form of string. What is this one here? Oracle dot jdbc dot oracle driver semicolon. Next one is prop dot set property URL I want to prepare. Comma, what is the URL here? We are able to provide jdbc colon Oracle colon thin colon Oracle colon thin colon at the rate localhost colon 1521 colon xe. Next one is prop dot set a property of username, comma, here that username should be like what there system. Next one is prop dot set a property. Here we have to provide like what there password. There we are able to provide what there Durga. Right, so data here ready. Data is provided clearly. Next one is I need to create file output stream. File output stream FOS is equal to new file output stream of. There here what we have to provide file output stream FOS is equal to new file output stream of. Here we need to be specify our target file or not. Let me check this here. My target location of E drive ABC XYZ. Some text file is available previously. Now I want to create db.properties. So far we are not having any file, but through program I want to create it. Now here what I will provide there. Alright, so now E colon slash ABC slash XYZ slash then what we have to provide there db.properties. Understand it clearly. E colon slash ABC slash XYZ is mandatory. It must be existed. Whether the db.properties file is existed or not existed, that doesn't matter. But this must be existed. That's okay, fine. That we have taken. Then after that, then what we have to do there? Prop dot. What method here we are providing there? Store method. Inside the store method, see, first of all, here what we have to provide there? FOS. FOS. Okay, comma. Then what we have to provide there? No description. JDBC parameters. JDBC parameter description here we have to provide. Now here just I want to display the message. No, system.out.println of data send it to the E colon slash ABC slash XYZ slash DB dot properties file. Properties like this here we are able to provide some message. That's it. At the end of the content here we have to close the resource FOS dot close. But anyway we are using throws exception here. Of course, in place of the throws exception, we can use what there try catch finally or try with resources also. Here we are able to use. But our required content is completed. Now let us execute our program here. That's it. Shall we execute the program now? That's it. Now let me right now cd Java C space tester.java. Some error here we are getting file output stream. Why, sir? Import only one package we imported here, but file output stream is available where? Java.io package. So here we have to import it. Import java.io.star. Import java.io.star. That's what we are getting clearly. Clear? All right, sir. Now observe carefully. Then after this, Java C space tester.java. Compiled successfully. Java space tester. Yeah, we are getting a message. No, what message here we are getting there? Let us send it to the E colon slash ABC XYZ db.properties. No, let me check it. The db.properties file is created or not? Right, so now let me open it. Right click on it and open with see this now. Of course, order of the properties is not guaranteed one. In any order, it able to provide. Finally, the data is available or not. Data is available or not, that we have to check. First of all, comment is created or not. What was the comment here we are getting there? JDBC parameters. Now this is date and time is created by automatically. JVM automatically will create that. That is not related to us. It might be created like this. Then after that, data here. Whatever the data here we provided, that is provided here. So driver class name is what there? Oracle.jdbc.oracle driver. Yeah, like URL is what there. See, the slashes are provided by properties file. Up to this properties file, the same data is available. But if you are reading the data from properties file, slashes will not come. Original data only we are able to get. Sir, are able to follow or not? What I am telling to you. So the slashes are provided by only what? Properties file. In the properties file representation. When we read the same data to the Java program, no, slashes will not come. Only the data what we provided, only that data here we are able to get. I'll show you in that point also in the next attempt. Right, sir. Now username is what there system, password is what there Durga. All the data here we are getting clearly. This is the way to provide like what there properties data into our content. Yes, sir. Clear or not? All of you know. Right, so now look here. All right, sir. Now here what we are able to provide there. Properties file is provided here. Already given that data, no. Yes, here the data is already existed here. That's okay. There also I'm going to provide this. For our understanding purpose, I want to give a diagram, no. Through diagrammatic representation here, I want to provide. Now try to understand this. For our understanding purpose. First of all, here what we are having there properties file. Properties object is existed. Okay. Inside this properties object, the data here we provided. What data here? No. First one is like what there. Driver class name is equal to. Okay. Say for example. Right, sir. Like this here I've taken. Inside this here, what we are having there, driver class name is equal to oracle.jdbc.oracle driver. Next one is the URL is equal to jdbc colon oracle colon thin colon at the rate localhost colon 1521 colon xe. Username is equal to system. Password is equal to Durga. Now this is like what I'm telling there properties file. Properties object, not a file now. Next one is here we are having properties file. This is like what there db dot properties. Okay, db dot properties. Now here file output stream here we have to create. Right, so now this is like what there file output stream. Now in this file output stream, then what I am going to do there, whatever the data which is available in the properties object, the data here we have to write it or not, write into this file output stream. So for that purpose here we are using the method like what there, store method. What's the method here we are using there, store method. Initially the data will be submitted in the form of like what there, zeros and ones. Now when the data is coming in the form of the zeros and ones, now automatically the data will come to the properties file like this. What exact data here we provided as is the data will come here inside this one. So again, now let me write the data. First of all, here what we are able to have there, driver class name is equal to oracle dot jdbc dot oracle driver. Next one is what there, URL is equal to jdbc colon oracle colon thin colon at the rate localhost colon 1521 colon xe. Next one is what there, username is equal to system. Next one is what there, password is equal to Durga. This data is available. Now this is exactly the content here we can understand. Right, sir? This is properties object. Okay. Store method. What method here we are using now? Store method. Store method is only be sending data to the respective properties file. Let's understand this. All right, so this diagram also here we can understand. That's okay. Next one is after this. What next one here? Properties file is okay. We are sending data to the properties file that we understood now. Next step is what there? Getting data from properties file to the Java program. Already my properties file is ready. Then from that we have to get the data. Right, sir. Got it now. Then here, how we are able to get data from the properties file? To send data to the properties file, we have used file output stream. But to get data from properties file to Java program, what we have to use now? It's an input operation there. So that definitely we have to use what there? File input stream now. Right. Create file input stream from the properties file. Tell me how I'm going to create it now. File input stream FIS is equal to new file input stream of e colon slash abc slash xyz slash db dot properties that we are getting there. This is about like what they're getting file input stream data. All right, sir. Good. Whenever we are getting these properties, that means whenever we are getting data from properties file, no, whatever the data which is available in the properties file, all the data will come to what their file input stream. From file input stream, we have to get data to the properties object. So now here, what we have to do, create properties class object. How we are able to create it? No, properties prop is equal to new properties, new properties object here we created. Next one is what there. After this, whenever we are creating this properties object, next one is data is already available in file input stream. The same data we have to store in properties object. So what we have to do there, load data from file input stream to properties object. Observe carefully. In previously, store data from properties object to properties file. Now this time it is what there, load data from properties file to the properties object. Load data from properties file to the properties object. Right. Further purpose, what method here we are able to use there? Prop dot load of FIS. That's enough. Prop dot load of FIS. What is this FIS now? File input stream. Already the properties file data is available with the file input stream. The total data we are loading to what their prop object. Prop object is what their properties object. All right. Then what next one here now? Get data from the properties object. Get data from the properties object. How we are able to get data from the properties object? Now, observe carefully. First of all, now here I want to get what there string driver class name is equal to prop dot get a property driver class name. So this name driver class name, whatever the driver class name we provided here, this name, and in the properties file, this name must be same. This name and this name, and here what is the name here we provided here? No, 1 minute. Here, this name. That means to the get property method, whatever the parameter we provided, it should be same as what the key in the properties file. Corresponding value will come. For this driver class name, what value is available there? Oracle.jdbs.oracle driver class will come here inside this one. Next one is after that. String URL is equal to prop dot get a property of there we have to provide what their URL. String username is equal to, or maybe these variables names may be anything. We can write it now. Any name here we can write these names now. But compatible names all I'm writing there, but anything. But now username here I want to provide, but where we want to provide what the prop dot get property, where we should provide the properties file data key. In the properties file, whatever the data we provided there in the form of key value pair, no, that key here we have to provide. What is that key here we have to write now? That key should be like what there? System. Next one is what there? Sorry, username. Username. Only here we have to write. Now observe carefully. In the data, here we are getting like what there? Only username. I think N is capital, I think so. Yeah, that we should not have any mistake here. Username. But here we may provide that N is capital or no capital, that doesn't matter. Again, we are defining this variable here. Okay, but as per the compatibility, we can prepare this. Next one is what there? Then after that, string password is equal to prop dot get a property password. Prop dot get property password. Now here we are getting like what there? Password data here we are getting. Is that all of you are getting it or not? Right, so now up to this part here we are getting, now try to understand it clearly. Now this is about second one. Once we are getting data in the form of variables, no, that we can display directly. Directly we can display these values here, no, right? What are the values here we are getting? Okay, fine. Right, sir. So this is completed. Now diagrammatically I want to show the same point here. Now try to understand this, no, how we are able to represent this diagrammatically. Observe carefully. Hmm. Serialization and properties object you want to serialize, no? Can you tell me what data we are able to see on serialization in the text file? What data you are able to get? No, inside the text. Okay, we are going to take some text file there. There, what data we are going to see? You cannot see now. You can see that. Then whatever the file we are getting there, we can open it. There we can see the data. In which form the data is available. And moreover, so here the properties file utilization are given there. In how many ways we are able to utilize this properties file now? Multiple options are given there, different approaches now. In these many ways we are able to use. But in all these technologies, do you have any guarantee to implement serialization and deserialization? That is one question mark. Another one is what there? How much it is very simple here to perform this what there? This properties file and copy and paste the data. It's a matter of using load method or it's a matter of using store method. Understand? But in the serialization, what steps we require? How many steps we have to implement? If we want to perform serialization separately, the class, one class here we have to take. What class we have to take now? If we implement that concept here, properties is a class now. That properties is a predefined class or user defined class? Predefined class. Do you have any guarantee whether it is implementing serializable interface? But if you want to perform serialization, that we must implement serializable. Then extra we have to use file output stream now. Not only file output stream, we have to use object output stream, object input stream. Understand it now? Then after that we have to send data now. How much process we have to do? Which one is better? This one is better, right? Good. Come for our point. All right. Now the point is like what there. Now in the diagram here, observe this carefully. Now what I am doing there, I want to get the data from what to what there, properties file to then properties object. Just 1 minute. Right, sir. Now here we are getting like what there, db dot properties, db dot properties. Now here what we are having the content here, observe carefully. The same, whatever the data here we are having there, driver class name is equal to oracle dot jdbc dot oracle driver. Next one is what there, url is equal to jdbc colon oracle colon thin colon at the rate localhost colon 151 colon exit. That's okay, fine. Username is equal to Of course, that name n is capital or lower, that doesn't matter. Now here I want to use what the system, then password is equal to like what we have to provide the Durga. This is my data. Now here what we have to do there as a first step now, we have to create a file input stream object. This is file input stream. File input stream, here we have used it. Now whenever we are getting file input stream, now data here we are able to provide. Data is available in the form of bytes representation only. Now data is available in file input stream. Now properties object is ready. Empty properties object. No. Then here if you want to get data from this properties, that means file input stream to this properties object. If you want to get it now, here what method here we have used there? Now tell me that method is what there? Load method. That's it. Automatically this total process is completed. Are you getting it or not? What I'm telling you. That's it. Now this is about like what there? The content here about this total getting data from properties file to the properties object. Right, sir? Now again, after completion of this, just I want to show an application here. Observe carefully that program. Similar thing. Whatever the data, whatever the program we have seen there in the previous case, no similar program here we are going to do. Properties file is already existed with us. Now this I want to remove. Already I copied this program here. Now let us understand it. Now tell me. You only tell me the steps here. What steps here we have to use there? And for example, first of all, we need to create a file input stream. Okay. File input stream FIS is equal to new file input stream of there what we have to provide there // abc / xyz / db dot properties. In the case if I give that file name wrong, if I give the file name is wrong, then automatically what we are able to get? No file not found exception we are able to get. But in the case of file output stream, we are not getting any file not found exception. Remember this. Right, sir. File input stream FIS is equal to new file input stream. Then this total content here we provided. That's okay. Next one is after completion of this, after understanding this, what next one here we are getting there? Data is available already in file input stream. Now here we have to create properties object. Empty properties object here we have to create. Properties prop is equal to new properties. Empty properties object here we created. Next one is what there? We have to load the data from file input stream to properties object. Prop dot load of what we have to provide there? FIS. Prop dot load of what there? FIS. That data here we are able to get. Whenever we are getting data like this here, then what we have to do there? After getting this data like this, no, we have to get data from the properties object or not. Right, directly I want to display the data. Observe carefully. Now here system dot out dot println of system dot out dot println of now JDBC parameters. JDBC parameters that we have to do. Then after this, after completion of this, now here we are going to understand it clearly. System dot out dot println of data we are able to see. Then after this, system dot out dot println of directly I'm displaying the data. What I'm displaying there? Driver class name. Right, sir. Now this is not a key, just it is a message on console. Driver class name. Now here we have to get prop dot get the properties of gear. We have to provide what there? Driver class name. Right, sir. Now similarly here, what I have to provide there? System dot out dot println of URL. Driver URL. Now here prop dot get a property of get a property, not properties, get a property. What I given in the document? Yeah, property, right? get a property. Now here we have to use what there? URL, only URL. Next one. System.out.println of DB username, database username. Now here prop dot get a property. There we have to use what there? Username. See that exactly the key here we have to provide. It must be matched with the keys in the properties file. Username n is captured like this. URL, driver class name, password. Next one. After this, another one can. What we have to provide there? System dot out dot println of DB password. Here we have to use like what there? Prop dot get property password. Like this here we provided. That's it. Now automatically here we are able to display all the content here. Any mistake? Any spelling mistakes? Let me check it. We are able to get some output here. Here we are getting capital letter now. Okay, let me check it. Any compilation error we are able to get, don't worry. Java C space tester.java. Right, sir. Now here we are getting get the property capital letter at which line? 15th line. Okay, right. Java C space tester.java. Compiled successfully Java space test. Here we are getting our required output as test. Whatever the content here we are getting, all the points here we are getting there. That's okay. Right. So now this is the program here. We are able to read data from the properties file. All right. Now I'm asking one question to all of you guys. Now try to understand it. Properties file content here we understood. Clear. Properties file content here we understood that. That's okay up to now. But how we are able to use this properties file in our JDB's application? Do you have an awareness on it? How we are able to utilize these properties files in our Java applications? Any awareness? Any idea? See the same, whatever the example here I shown, this is an use case for JDBC. In the same way, we are going to utilize in JDBC. What program here now? The second program. Maximum, we are not going to work with the first program. That means we are not going to create a properties file through programmatically. We are not going to keep data into the properties file through program. No, that we are not going to do. In general, what we are going to do there, we will create a properties file separately. Inside this, we will write the data manually, required data. That we are going to get into the Java program. Are you able to follow or not? So we are not going to write any separate program to keep data into the properties file. We are going to create a properties file manual, like what there, right click, new file, then file dialog box is open, where we are going to write it db.properties explicitly. There I am going to type the data in the form of key value pairs now. My required data I am going to provide. After that, what I am going to do now, I'll read the data from what there, read the data from Java application. To read the data from properties file, what exactly the approach here we have used it, the same approach here I'm going to use. Now in our program, just I displayed the data like this. But in my JDBC program, what I'm going to do now, I need to load and register the driver. Class.forName of driver class name is required. There I'm going to use directly prop.get property of driver class name. The value will come there. That value we are going to provide as parameter to class.forName method. I want to establish the connection. So get connection method I'm going to write. Whenever we are calling get connection method, where three parameters here we are going to provide it. Driver, URL, database username, database password. I'm going to get driver URL from the database password. That means db.properties, that means properties object. Username and password also I'm going to get from the properties that I'm going to use as parameters to that connection method, get connection method. The remaining part of the program is very same. So in this way, without specifying this data, driver class name, database username, database password, driver URL in Java program directly, without providing this data in Java program directly, I want to keep the data in the properties file. Later on, I'm going to get data from the properties file to Java program. That data I'm going to use in the Java program. For example, observe carefully. I have written this program here. I executed this program. Am I right or not? Java C space test.java. Compilation is success and Java space test output here we are getting. Am I right or not? Observe carefully. I'm trying to perform modification of my data. I want to change my database and my driver and everything I want to change here. I should not do anything in my Java program. That program is very same. But in the properties file, I'm going to change it. What I'm going to change in my properties file there, password should be like what their root. And a driver class name is not like Oracle driver. I want to use what there, com.mysql dot cj dot jdbc dot driver, MySQL driver. Username is what there, root, for example, root. Then URL is not like this. URL is like what there. I want to provide some URL, jdbc colon slashes. Right, sir. jdbc colon mysql colon slashes localhost colon 3306 slash Durga DB, for example. Save it. Properties file I have taken, then where we have to save it. That's it. I made changes. I performed modifications on what file there, properties file, but I have not done anything in what there, Java program here. Now, even I don't want to open Java editor. Directly I will go to the, I'll go to what there, command prompt. I'm going to execute the program. Even I'm not recompiling. If I do any modification on Java program, then I have to recompile the program. But I have not done anything on my Java program. I have done something in what their properties file. So without recompilation of our Java program, directly we can execute it. Now tell me, in my output, what data we are getting? Old data or modified data? Modified data here we are getting. This advantage we are able to get by using what their properties file. Understand, guys? Then most of the people require this kind of content only. Most of the people are not aware about this punch kernel. So directly what people are doing there, what data they want to change frequently, they want to write the data directly in the Java program. And whenever they require the changes, no, they want to open the Java program there, they want to perform modifications there. But when they have done modifications with the Java program, then what they have to do, they have to perform recompilation. Then after that, reloading, that means repacking that application and reloading that application to the server. And again, they have to restart the server. This much of work they have to do. No? But in this case, at least recompilation stuff here we are able to avoid if we do this kind of content here. No? And in the case of some servers, no, even though application is in deployed mode, still we can open the properties file there, we can modify it and we can save it. Automatically that modifications are going to be taken by servers. Some servers are providing that option here. No? So no need to redeploy the application, no need to recompile the code, no need to repack the application. Directly we can open it and we are able to provide the content. Sir, all of you are getting my point on it. And moreover, nowadays in the latest versions, what is going to be happen? Observe carefully. This properties file, how much it is more effective in our application development. I'm telling to you, all of you understand this clearly. Nowadays, maybe because of this DevOps, maybe or because of like nowadays might be in DevOps in the sense we are going to write some configuration scripting files we are writing there. For the sake of the scripting files, maybe Python or maybe some things they are able to use, or maybe not exactly Java. Maybe in cases properties file also. Or maybe in the case of properties, in the case of applications, no, YAML files also they're able to use. YAML files, YAML files. Better not, YAML files they're able to use. Okay, not only in the case of DevOps, can observe carefully. Nowadays, in the latest trend is what there. For every project, some configuration details are required. What configuration details are required? Database configuration details we required. Security configuration details we required. Cloud configuration details we required. Server configuration details we required. Like this, so many configuration details we required. Got it or not? For example, if you go for microservices now, about number of tools we are going to use in microservices there. Maybe for example, activators enabling, or not only that, maybe server port numbers, maybe like what there is Spring Boot application or microservices applications, no, Eureka server like port numbers and all. Understand? No? Cloud config server configurations, no, like this. So many configuration details here we have to provide. But all these configuration details, in the case of these latest applications, we are going to provide either in the properties file or in the YAML file. Either in the YAML file or in what their properties file. Properties file we understood then. Okay. Then what happened there? Within the same project we are preparing properties file. There we are providing all the configuration details. Yes, sir. Am I right or not? Within the same project we prepared the properties file. The properties file configurations here we are providing. Am I right or not? If you want to go for changes, no, you have to open the properties file. There we are performing modifications that we are doing now. That is still in our system or not? That is still available in our system or not? Say for example, more than one developer is working on the same project. More than one developer is working on what their same project. Then more than one developer require the same configurations. Project is same. Project related configurations are same. But as of now, that project and its configuration details are available with what there with my system only. But how other developer can access my system properties file configurations? No, sir. All of you are getting it or not? How other developer also require the same configuration details. For example, 10 developers are working with the same project, but all 10 developers require the same project configuration details. The project configuration details we provided in what there a properties file, but that properties file and project is available with me. But 10 developers are required the same thing. How all the 10 developers can get the same properties file configuration? Option number one, alternative number one. In all the 10 developers missions, we have to install the same project and same properties file we have to provide. But that is not like what their concurrent development. That is not like in parallel development. That is like what their individual development, not on the same project. They are doing their work on their system only. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? Exactly. In this particular situation, what we are going to have, okay, whatever it may be, even though the project is available in all the 10 systems, no, but configuration details must be shared to all the 10 developers or not. The project Java code we are having there independently on all the systems here, but configuration details must be same or not. But copying the same configuration properties well in all 10 systems is not good thing. So we want to go for some other concept. That concept is what there, externalization of the configurations. Configurations externalization. That means what I'm going to do there, we are going to keep this properties file in the cloud. We are going to provide this properties file in where there cloud. But every developer is going to get configuration details from what there, from the cloud. Get my point or not? 10 developers are working there. All developers require the same configuration details of the project. But maintaining 10 copies of the same configurations, no, it's not good thing. So what we are going to do now, the configuration properties file we are going to keep in what their cloud. Automatically, the same configuration details are changed to provided to all the 10 developers. But I have a requirement now. What is my requirement here? For my project, I want to change. Say for example, I changed my database username and password. For example, think about it. Two cases now. No cloud, nothing else now. 10 developers are working on their own missions on their individual project only. Same project, but individual copies are provided. Okay. Myself is a project manager. I changed like what their database username and password. When I change the database username and password, how I'm going to give that information to every developer? No, 10 developers are working in the same project. Every developer requires the same database username and password. Then what I have to do? I have to share that username and password to all the 10 developers or not? That means all 10 developers, they have to modify their content on their own missions or not? But this is somewhat risky thing. Maybe some developers may be updated, may not be updated. Something is going to be happen there. So to standardize this particular one, what we have to do? All these project configuration details, if we keep in the cloud, if we provide in a cloud or maybe repository, some other thing, some centralized access, some repository, if we provide a properties file, if we provide in a separate repository or in the cloud now, then from the cloud, every developer is getting the data, or from the repository, every developer is getting the configuration details. No, single copy configuration details are used by all the 10 developers. No, as a project manager, if I want to change the database username and password, no need to give an intimation to all the developers there. Directly I can go to the cloud copy. There I can go for modification. There I will commit the modifications. I'll push the modifications. Automatically, all the developers can pull the changes or not. All developers can get the changes automatically, even without knowing, without giving an intimation to all the developers. No, automatically the modifications we can perform there. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? So this kind of alternative, this kind of things are going on nowadays in our content, in our like what their application development, in the recent project development, this kind of things are going to be available. But if you want to achieve this kind of things, no, normal core Java and advanced Java programs are not sufficient. There we have to go for some environment. That environment could be provided with either DevOps maybe, or like what they're apart from this DevOps, no, nowadays might be in microservices application. Definitely cloud config concept is available for us now. There we are going to discuss about the same kind of content here in cloud config. That means in the case of microservices, how to externalize our configuration details. keeping your configuration details within your single computer is like normal configuration. Externalize your configurations in the sense keeping your configuration details in where now in the cloud. That could be used by multiple developers. Think of it. In a single database, multiple developers can work. On a single server-side application, multiple developers can work. How it is possible there? Because of this kind of setup only. Because of this type of setup only, it's going on there now, right, sir? So, okay, now these many things are going to be available, but of course, we are going to see all the concepts in the future, not immediately. See, not even that. I'm giving some importance to all of you guys. Nowadays, how much the cloud is very, very important for us, no? One more example I'm telling there. Even how much it is useful for our content. For example, in our class also it must be useful. But how it is very much useful, I want to give some clarity. Understand it. Simple example. In general, in our JDBC classes, maybe after completion of the introduction part, when I want to start programming part, I have to install database in my system. I have to install database in my system. Sir, am I right or not? Whenever I'm trying to install database in my system, no, of course, up to me, up to my system, everything is available. It will be installed successfully. I can install the Oracle database or MySQL database or Postgres SQL, whatever it may be. Everything successful I can install. I can show a programming output also. But whenever we are coming to the practice, no, whenever we are trying to install that software in our system, you may get a number of problems. That software may not be installed. Even in regularly, first 10 days of the JDBC, first 10 days of the JDBC programming, when I start first program, from that point onwards, first 10 days of JDBC programming, the days are horrible days for every student. Why, sir? See, if we send any rocket to the planet, no, then how much that landing time is going on there now? That time is a crucial time, right? The landing time is what the crucial time in the planet now. The same feeling is available with you. Why? Because we have the problem with what their database installation. But of course, I will show that simplified approach. No, I can manage it. No need to worry for it. But in general, for every student in JDBC, first 1 week of time is a crucial time. They need to have much patience, very good patience. Why? Because the databases are not going to be installed on time. Why? Because you are doing installation. As per the guidelines, whatever the guidelines I'm giving there, if you follow that, then automatically we are going to install it. But our people are not doing that. They are not following my instructions now. They may go for their one. See the point, simple point for the students, what I am telling there. For example, when see in my system, listen carefully, it may be useful even in the future, very soon. In my system, I had nearly 20 GB RAM, somewhat fast. That installations and everything is on moreover SSD. Okay, that all the installations are going on moment. Why? Because I have to do that because of this training, because of these classes. My installations are somewhat fast when compared with your systems. Of course, if you maintain the same configuration, it will be good thing. Okay, in the classroom, of course, in the David class is recorded here. In the classroom, when I double click on the Oracle setup file, within 3 minutes of time, 5 minutes of that, the total installation is completed in my system. 5 minutes of time, that's sufficient. But when the same thing is going on in your system there, your system resources may be somewhat low. 8 GB RAM only we are having, for example. Okay, then not SSD, normal hard disk only, normal thing. And then what happened there? No, when we click on that installation setup file, no, it may be take nearly half an hour time to install our Oracle database. But in the video, 5 minutes of time is there. They're comparing that 5 minutes of time in your system, no. Okay, it is taking longer time, so definitely it is not going to be installed. They are taking decision now immediately without having any second thought. On 6th minute, people are going to click on cancel button. That's the problem. What you used to identify there. Understand it how much it is danger. No, I'll explain to you. In the middle of the Oracle database installation, if you click on cancel button, if it is performing internally undo operation, it's okay, well and good. But majority of the Oracle database softwares are not performing undo operations. In the middle, that process was stopped. That means half of the setups are provided, remaining half of the setups are not provided. Then what student wants to do there? He clicked on cancel. When the process is terminated, again he want to reinstall the same software. Again, if you open the setup file, you will double click on that setup file now. When you double click on setup file, then what that Oracle software is doing there? Already Oracle software is available in our system. don't install it once again. It is saying that. Okay, as per that information, if you want to open that Oracle database, no, now this time it is showing that Array, yaar, Oracle database is not available in our system. Please try to install it. If you terminate the process in the middle, this kind of problems are going on. That's why what I'm telling there, please recognize this. In the installation process of any software, don't click on cancel buttons in the middle. That software is not installed in our system. If it is not, that resources are not sufficient to install it, no, officially it will provide a message to you in a pop-up menu box. It able to provide a message. This system resource is not sufficient to install it. You want to continue or you want to terminate it. There terminate button or something is available. Some notification we are able to get, pop-up notification. Wait up to the time. Okay, if it is providing there, then it is clear cut information. No, okay, I don't want to continue. Now I want to terminate the process. Then it will perform undo operation. Yes, sir, all of you are getting my point or not? See, but in the middle of the installation, don't click on Control C and close buttons and cancel buttons, this kind of things. So that's the problem. This is somewhat important. See, because of that reason, people are unable to write their programs there. They're feeling shy to come with me. Even if you bring your laptop with me, I'm unable to do anything. Yes, sir. Am I right or not? Even Oracle trainer also unable to do anything. Who knows about it? How to recover from the middle of the software? Of course, we'll go to the app data there. We are able to delete the temporary files what installed there, but it's a risky process. We have to search for what files are installed there internally. That every file we have to delete, then only we have to do no. Because of this reason, most of the students what they are trying to do no, they're going to format their C drives. The format is the option there. Apart from this, even if you bring that in that situation, if you bring your laptop to me, I'll start doing formatting. That's the solution only. So that's why here itself I'm giving alert message now. Don't do such kind of thing. Then why we are thinking about it? Yeah, okay, that's okay, fine. Our actual requirement is what that these kind of problems are going on in the installation process. That's why what we are having there, if we use cloud for maintaining your database, then you are not required to install any database in our system. In the cloud, we can get the database. It's very simple to get the database in our cloud. Of course, every cloud is providing some free tier for what their database is, minimal database that is sufficient for our JDBC application. But how to connect with the cloud database from our Java application? I'll give clarity. No need to worry for it. Nothing. Here itself, I can give the information here. What is the URL to connect with the database? No, this is the URL. Now here, what I provided here? What is the meaning of localhost? No, the database server is available in my system. That's the meaning of localhost. But really, it is available in my system. That's why I've used it. If the database software is available at what there, available at cloud now, the cloud is having some URL or not? That URL I'm going to provide here in place of localhost. Finish. It will connect with the cloud database. Then we can work with the cloud database. We can store data in the cloud database. We can get data from the cloud database. Everything we are able to do through cloud. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? This only the modification here. Apart from that, we are not having any other content here. Just only URL. In place of localhost, we can provide identify the cloud URL. Of course, whenever we set up the database in the cloud now, there we can get that URL. That instance URL is available. Am I right or not? Any of you are attending these cloud classes? No? Nobody. AWS. AWS. Up to that, the instances and security groups all are not completed. A few days back, no? It will take some time anyway. Don't worry. In the cloud, in AWS, everything we are able to take. Even servers we can declare. Even databases we can take. Even your computer also we can take. With a standard theme like RAM, ROM, and everything we can specify. The computer we can take as a rent. Just like the rental system. The cloud is what there? As a rental system. For example, I require a laptop. I don't have any laptop. I'm unable to buy a laptop now. But I want to take my laptop rental purpose. Outside might be some rental providers are available. I can go there. I want to get this laptop for the 1 month of time. I can use that 1 month of time that laptop. Then for every month I want to pay the payment to the respective rental person. The same thing is going in the case of cloud. In which way I'm paying the payment to the rental person. In the same way, cloud provider is available. AWS or maybe GCP or maybe Azure, whoever it may be. Cloud providers, monthly charges they are going to provide, then we have to pay the bills. Then monthly we can use the content. We can use the cloud services. database services, RDB services, operating systems. Very good. Beautiful operating systems are available in the cloud. All setups, all headaches are not going to be available with us. Every headache could be taken care by the cloud setup, cloud providers. No, they'll provide good services to us. I think so in AWS, then 80 hours trial period they're able to provide 80 hours of time. We can use some free tier resources up to 80 hours, 78 or 80 hours. I think so. 70 hours, no? Yeah. Maybe up to 70 hours of time we can use that free of cost, that free tier resources. No, where one of the database, Oracle database is also available. Where MySQL database is also available in the free tier. In Oracle database with limited resources, it is available there if you want to use that. Don't worry. Then already I made one video how to connect with the cloud database from our local JDBC program. How to connect with the cloud server from our local server application. Already I made some videos there in YouTube. I think so it is available there. Then if you want to check it, you can check it now. Just only one change here. In place of this local host, what I have to provide there? Cloud here. That's it. Automatically, my program will be connected with what there? Cloud database. There I'm able to perform all the database operations. Yeah, no need to worry for it. If you want to know that concepts here, I will take in JDBC, I will take one session to show how to connect with the cloud databases and all, how to work with that particular database here. But further to require little bit awareness on AWS. I think those are okay. Of course, the required information I'm able to provide. How to create account, how to set up the database in the cloud. Up to that, I'm able to provide. Right? That's all, guys. Don't worry for it. Now, total prerequisite part is completed today. Unnecessarily, might be last 15 minutes of time we are discussing about this content only. Okay, so tomorrow onwards I want to start JDBC, then officially I'm going to start, but whatever the content I give in there up to now, just revise that all the concepts here. These are max prerequisites here. Apart from that, we don't require anything. If I required any other content here, then I'll discuss that concepts on fly. Okay, but tomorrow onwards officially I'm going to start JDBC, but I'm requesting to everybody tomorrow onwards, next 10 to 15 days of time, your continuity is very, very important. Your continuity is very, very important. If you are missing in any one class now, immediately check that video and try to update yourself. Then come for the next class. Without updating yourself from the previous class now, you are unable to understand next class. Why? Because every content is a linked one. Up to 10 days of time, up to the completion of first 5 program in JDBC. Up to the time, that continuity and everyday concepts are very, very important. It's the foundation. I'm going to give very good introduction part for the JDBC and all the content. No, your understanding is very, very important. So maintain the continuity the next of 10 days of time, 10 to 15 days of time. After that, I will give some worst concepts in JDBC. There we can absent it. Some waste concepts are available in JDBC. There I will give intimation to you. There we can absent it. But still, as per my responsibility, I have to take them. Understand it, no? Right? Shall we meet on tomorrow? That's all for today. I'll see the content on tomorrow. Thank you. Right, so then cloud classes just inquire at our office there, then our people will give more clarity. Yeah, that the cloud batches are going to be stored there definitely, but one time inquire at our office. Okay.